Once upon a time, I had started out to make that happen in October of 1957 when Sputnik went up. We made the longest trek on foot. The later missions, everyone stayed longer, built on the successes of the past. But they also had the Lunar Rover, which is a little electric car they used to get around, so they could go further than we could go. But they got to ride instead of walk. We had the longest on-foot trek in the lunar surface, in which we had to go on foot 2 kilometers away from our spacecraft and climb up a crater slope to sample, get rocks and things all along the way up to the top of that crater called Crater. And each mission builds upon the successes of the last till the Apollo 17, which was the last one, had the longest stay time and went into the most rugged terrain of any of the flights. We kept building it up, making it more difficult, more challenging, and getting deeper into the surface as we did that. The surface on the front side where we landed is very dusty. It's about the consistency of talcum powder. But it's basalt, it's lunar rock, and it's volcanic rock that has come out of the inside of the moon and filled craters on the front side over billions of years of existence. And then it's almost beaten up by meteor impacts and asteroid impacts and little particle impacts until it's the consistency of very fine talcum powder and very clingy, very electrostatic, so think we're headed toward real disclosure, and some very serious organizations moving in that direction.